Hey legends, this is Healslave, new member of your guild, and as a return of favor for all your help that you've given me and my wife today, I wanted to show a small video about the add-ons that I have on my healed character regarding pretty much only healing add-ons, which shows cooldowns and all that kind of stuff. So in general I have an add-on that's called AddonManager. With that you can disable and enable add-ons with one click with a direct function, so it works right away. You don't have to restart Allods or anything. Also it shows which add-ons you currently have installed. I'm gonna start off with the add-on PowerAuras, this one here, which practically shows cooldowns via icons. For some reason it's bugged right now. I have to use one spell in order to make them appear. There we go. What I've did is pretty much make an icon of, for example, spiritual focus, put it somewhere where it fits me the best, where I can see it the best, and whenever that one specific spell is on cooldown, I modified the add-on a little bit so the icon fades, so that you can barely see it, so you don't mix it with it being actually active. So every time I click spiritual focus now, the icon fades and it shows the cooldown time on top of it. The second the cooldown is over, the icon appears again and is 100% visible. I've did that with spiritual focus, I've did that with entreaty, I've did that with divine prayer, and I've did it with my holy shield, because these are pretty much the only spells that I have with a cooldown. So that is PowerAuras. You can also use it for debuffs, meaning if you have a debuff on you, for example a poison, then I'm gonna open the add-on here for a second, then you can create a new term. You type the name of whichever you think fits best for that one specific buff or debuff. For example, for spiritual focus you can just write spiritual. Then you type in if it should be showing while the buff or debuff or spell cooldown is active, or if it should hide while it's active. In this case you would want it to show. Then you say it's a debuff and type in the debuff name. It must be exactly the name of the debuff. So you can also get a list, but I've never tried it with debuffs before, so you just kinda have to hope that the debuff actually exists in this add-on. I've only tried with buffs so far. Then you can say where, or actually you can also say instead of a buff image you can use a specific icon which you think fits best for that buff or debuff. Then you can say where it should be. Let's say 500 to 500, that is the X and Y X, and then you can place it wherever you want, and also you can change the size of the icon. The last thing which you can do is make it fade or make it visible, of course. So that's just one example. What I've did here is, for example, the thing with the fading thing, what I have here with spiritual focus, entreaty, divine prayer or my shield. What I've did is I made two terms. One is with the cooldown and one is when the cooldown is over. So when it's on cooldown, I wanted to show, but I wanted to show with less visibility. That's why I put a little transparency on it. Also, I wanted then to show the cooldown timer. When it's back, then I wanted to hide, which means that I want the cooldown timer to hide and show the actual icon back. It's a little complicated, but if you try it out a little bit, you'll figure it out. What I've also did is, what I've recently discovered is, or what I've recently wanted to discover is my perpetual healing, my healing over time. I wanted to have an actual timer, because what is happening so far is there's an icon showing next to the name or next to the bars of your party member, and that one only, it doesn't visibly show the cooldown or the time on how long your hot still lasts. So what I've did is I made a timer above the bars next to the name of the party member. So when I heal over time someone, it shows an actual timer over the bars for every party member. Right now the other two party members are out of distance, so I can't give them my healing over time. And here we will let it run out so you see it actually fits in, and there we go. So there's also still PowerAuras. You can see here, for example, for the party member 1, there's a text here saying if group member number, and then you of course first mark it, and then you type in which group member it should be. In this case, for number 1, it should be group member 1. Also what I do have is a icon that shows my fanaticism plus the stacks of it. So I have to go to a mob for that to show that. Up. Down there. So whenever I have fanaticism, it shows here. And right now I have 1 stack, so it just shows the icon. If I have more stacks, and I'm gonna heal myself for this one now just to get a stack up, then it shows a number 2 up here. So it shows the actual number of stacks being up on the fanaticism and how long the buff still lasts on you. So that one helps you very much in order to know which spells you can use for an instant. For example, 5 stacks fanaticism give you an instant a holy blast, right? So that's that. That would still be PowerAuras. So with this add-on you can actually do a lot of things if you're a healer, but I think this also can be very useful to other classes. Just gonna jump down to get it off me here. My next add-on which I have, I just don't know the actual name of it right now. It's called Carney HPS meter. It's pretty much a DPS meter just for your healing. So you can see the party members, and then you see which one did the most healing, the amount of healing percentage, and if you click on the name of that specific person, you can also see which heals did the most, percentage wise and amount wise. Yeah, that is that. Pretty simple, very self-explanatory. Next add-on that I have is a aggro meter. It's pretty much the most common aggro meter ever. It's called Real Aggro M or Real Aggro Meter. You will find it if you Google it pretty much. Yeah, it's also pretty self-explanatory. It shows a top amount of, well, that's not the one here right now, I pulled the wrong one. If 2 people attack one mob, you can say, I want to show the top 5 aggro leaders, aggro people that is currently attacking that one mob, and who has the most aggro, and the other 4 people or the other 3 people, whichever amount you want to show, how much percentage of aggro they have. So you see, if for example the mage is doing too much damage, so you have to know that within the next 10 seconds the mob might switch to the mage, so you have to prepare healing him. Or if you get too much aggro from healing, you might want to prepare for using the shield if the mob switches to you, or use a heal over time on yourself. That is that. I can't show that right now because I don't have anyone else that attacks one mob right now, so it won't show the add-on. It just pops up if 2 or more people attack one mob and you're actually having the mob targeted as well. These are pretty much the most important spells that I have. I also have one that's just for me because I like it. I think it's much more prettier than the usual one. Is a cast bar. You can move it wherever you want. In my opinion, it just looks more pretty. Also, it shows a lag bar, which means if you have a higher latency and you move a little away, then it keeps casting a little bit. That works rather bad in Allods. It works pretty good in World of Warcraft. It's called an add-on called Quartz. In this case, the add-on is called Pick Castbar. Yeah, also pretty self-explanatory. And then I have one last add-on that shows enemy players around you, meaning Imperials in our case. It shows what level they are, how much HP and mana they have, but it doesn't show you distance, or it doesn't show you where exactly it here is. It just says there's an enemy around you, so it's kind of a warning for yourself. Many people call it cheating, and I myself just see as a kind of protection for myself, since I can't really do any harm as a full healer. I use it rather more for protection, to know that there is an Imperial around me. I notice him first because of the add-on, so I can prepare myself hiding or fleeing in a case. You can also show NPCs and allies around you. Yeah, that add-on is called called Dark Premonition. I don't know if it still exists in UI9.ru. That's the add-on site, so you might want to Google it. Yeah, these are pretty much the quests that I have. Also have a quest tracker, but who cares about that, right? So, see you.